Today at 1 p.m. Central Time, you can catch all of our Big 12 Basketball Media Day interviews wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, On Demand. This is the Big 12 Conference. This is A Different League with Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. We are exclusively on TuneIn and streaming live on your screen via Big 12 Studios. And now we celebrate TCU women's soccer with Seven Castain as TCU claimed their second consecutive Big 12 regular season title. They won 2-0 over Houston last night. TCU finished their 11-game league play mark with a record of 9-1-1 and one of the best players in this conference. First team All-Big 12, Seven Castain joins us. Congrats on another championship. How did it feel? And as you sit back here today and reflect on that accomplishment, what goes through your mind?
Honestly, there's not a lot of words to describe winning a championship. You don't get to compete for them very often. A lot of teams can't say that they've gotten that opportunity, and so to get to do it not just once, but twice and back-to-back is absolutely huge. This team has persevered through so much. We've been through sicknesses, injuries, just tough ups and downs of trying to figure out who we are as a team, and I think the fact that we were able to pull out a championship out of that is really, really cool.
The Big 12 is a dominant soccer conference, and TCU is a dominant program. But when you look at the RPI, there's 13 of the 16 Big 12 teams are in the top 100 of the RPI, including 3 in the top 10 and 5 in the top 15. 9-1-1 was the record that TCU finishes with in conference play. I guess, Seven, my question to you is, what's with the one loss?
Some teams catch you off guard for sure. We played Colorado, and I thought we played a really good game, and Colorado got 3 chances, and they put them away.
I was just kidding. I was totally kidding. 9-1-1 is incredible. It's such a good conference. And I think you finished second in the league in goals scored, and you're one of the top goal scorers in the history of TCU soccer. So I guess, what does that mean to you?
I can't do any of it without my team. They set me up, they put me in good positions, but it's really cool to do it. And I think that coming in as a freshman and having a rough experience in my first semester here, definitely looking back on it, if you would have told me as a freshman that I would have been top 5 goal scoring at TCU, had as many goals as I'd had, gotten the awards that I've gotten, I wouldn't have believed you. So I think it's a really cool thing to look back on, and I'm just super grateful to see all the hard work that I've put in kind of come to fruition, and to get to do it with my sisters and the people that I love and the coaching staff that believes in me and supports me.
Seven, take us through your journey. What did you go through as a freshman to where you are now? You were first team All-Big 12 last year, going to be this year. You're second in the Big 12 with 14 goals. So how did you get to this point?
So I came in a semester early. I decided to graduate high school a little bit early just because I knew that I was going to have a harder time with the transition. I'm an only child, never been away from my parents, and so wanted to kind of give myself a leg up before we got into the time in season where everyone comes in and the coaches aren't there to develop you, they're there to win games, and that's what the fall is. And so that first semester was kind of a shock for me. It was a culture shock. It was, school was never really an issue, but soccer, the speed of play gets faster. It's more physical. Girls are more intense. There's a lot of voices. And so my first semester, I think I was just kind of spinning and reeling and just didn't really know how to handle it. And at the end of that semester, I kind of had to sit down with myself and say hey, is this something that you really want to do? Because if it is, you're going to have to fight through it. And I told myself when I was getting recruited that I did not want to transfer. I was I'm not transferring. I'm picking this place for my 4 years, and I'm going to thug my way through it, and whatever happens, happens. So I went home and worked my butt off. I tried to get myself back in shape, tried to get my confidence back, just tried to find myself as a player again. And then when I came in the fall of my freshman year, our starting winger ended up getting hurt, and so I got to get 9 starts. And so I think that from that point on, it was kind of just growth semester over semester. And so each semester I always try to come back with something new to add to my game, whether that's leadership or a new kind of shot, a different level of confidence, something along those lines, so that I always feel like I'm improving. And I think freshman year was a lot of just trying to survive in this environment. I think sophomore year was finding myself as a forward. Junior year was, hey, I know who I am. I have to start believing I'm good enough. And then I think this year has been enjoying every single moment.
How do you finish the job this year and win a national championship? Like how difficult is that? And what do you think the team needs to do that?
It's obviously incredibly difficult. Only one team in the country gets to do it. But I will say that the best way to go about it is taking it game by game. From here on out, it's one game, and if you win, you keep going, and if you lose, you're done. And so I think when you look at it that way, it's really like easy to get it's easier to stay in the present when you look at it one game at a time, and it's like, hey, we focus on this opponent, and like we have BYU next week, and like that's where that starts. And so I think staying focused in that moment, full 90 minutes of working hard, effort, being sharp on details, because I think earlier in the season we had a lot of like a couple minutes here where we might have dropped a goal or we weren't as sharp as we needed to be. And I think when it comes down to national championships and competing for those, like you have to be sharp for a full 90 minutes and up until 120 minutes if you have to play that long. And so I think for us, it's really about staying sharp in those moments and staying focused and present.
Seven Castain from TCU Women's Soccer. That is an exceptional story you told us about just everything you went through as a freshman, being an only child. Your name's Seven. There has to be some background there. I'm sure you've never been asked that before. Where does it come from?
Well, and are you a fan of the show Seinfeld, or have you ever heard of Seinfeld?
So I've heard of it, and everyone always asks me if that's where I get my name from.
Right, because it's famous. There's an episode where George Costanza wants to name his kid Seven after Mickey Mantle, the number that he wore. So anytime I hear that name, I think of that.
Yeah. My parents had a really hard time having me. They had me a little bit later in life, and seven means lucky, completion, and perfection. It was like the final piece to our family, and so I really strive for that excellence every single day, and I think it's a privilege to have such a cool name.
That's awesome. Yeah, seven's a good number, I guess, in Vegas, so that makes a ton of sense. That's an amazing story. And I think, like, probably something that's motivated you throughout your life.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like, for me, like, I've always been a little bit of a perfectionist. And so I definitely have had to learn, like, you strive for that, but you're never possibly going to reach it. And so always having that mindset of, like, hey, I'm going to do as close to perfect as possible, but, like, also having grace with yourself of knowing, like, there's only one perfect man in this world, and that's God.
What type of support does TCU women's soccer get? Do the fans show up? Are you, when you're on campus and walking around and going to classes, do people know that, TCU women's soccer is the juggernaut that it truly is?
Yeah, I mean, we get an unbelievable amount of support. I think in my time here, we've gotten up to like 3,000 fans at games. Our entire stadium will be filled. People will be behind the fences. It's really cool. I think the Fort Worth community as a whole is really close, and it's very soccer invested from like a youth standpoint and a college standpoint. And so that's always been really cool. And I think that's one of my favorite things about playing here in Fort Worth is like the fans make it so much more fun. We kind of feed off of their energy. But yeah, I definitely think that people know like TCU women's soccer is who we are. I mean, we've worked for it, and the school supports us, and they're sending out emails, posting stuff on campus. I mean, we couldn't have better support, in my opinion.
Yeah, 2 straight outright Big 12 regular season championships, 4 in the last 6 years. TCU women's soccer is an absolute beast in the Big 12. All right, so what does your future hold, Seven? What are your future plans?
I want to keep playing soccer. So going pro at the next level is definitely my goal. I want to play at the highest level and continue to grow as a player. It's all about being the best person and player I can be, and wherever that takes me is where I want to be. Outside of that, I'm really into writing, and so I've been working at TCU Press and kind of getting some experience in like the editing and publishing industry and learning what I like there and what that could possibly look like for me after soccer's done.
I'm always curious too about international competition. Is that something you've ever done in terms of playing for a national team?
I have not.
Got it. How does that work? You have to get like I know there's all different 15U or what, so give me a better sense of like how that whole situation plays out.
It's kind of separated by age groups, like you said. So it'll be like under 15. I think there's up until like under 19, under 20, and then there's under 23, and then there's a full team. And you get called into camps, and then from camps, I think they like do rosters for like World Cups, like all that kind of stuff. Obviously, haven't gotten the opportunity myself, but definitely looking forward to it when it does happen.
Seven Castain is with us as TCU claims their second straight Big 12 regular season title last night with a 2-0 win over Houston. All right, Seven, let's get to know you a little bit here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Studios. What are 3 words you would use to describe you off the field?
Off the field, probably perfectionist, intense, and creative.
3 great words. Not exactly words you'd use to describe yourself, James.
Well, let's lean into the creative part, okay? You said you do some writing. Where does your creativity come from, and how do you let that part of your personality shine?
I don't know if I can say that I really know where it comes from. I've always just loved like things in the arts. In high school, like I had to like pick an orchestra instrument, so I played the violin in high school for like 5 years. I was in AP art. I love photography. I'm really into writing. But I think I've just always loved the idea of creating stories. I think everything in this life, like everything in life, is a story, and I think ways that we can express it are really cool. And I definitely just like to bring my experiences that I've had, like off the field, on the field, into my writing and kind of sharing it with people so that they can get that shared experience, and so that you always know that, like, hey, there's someone out there going through what you're going through. Mm-hmm. And there's someone out there who also, like, understands it. And I think the way that we can use those stories to be a bigger community is really, really cool. And so I think that, like, that's my goal. And, like, being creative and trying to show that on and off the field is, like, just always letting people know that there's someone in their corner and that there's someone who understands, and kind of just always emphasizing that shared experience.
You have any plans tonight for Halloween?
Yeah, me and my roommates and our boyfriends are all going to a haunted house tonight.
Awesome. Are you going to dress up?
Yes.
As?
Me and my boyfriend are being Lilo and Stitch.
Nice.
Awesome.
It was his idea.
That's creative.
Which one's Lilo? Which one's... I'm just kidding.
He's definitely Stitch.
That's amazing. Seven Castain, TCU women's soccer. Congrats on another championship, and thank you so much for your time, for coming on the program this morning. Best of luck as you go further and work towards an NCAA title.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Seven.
Seven Castain, TCU women's soccer, senior, first team All Big 12 season ago. Currently second in the Big 12 with 14 goals, third in TCU history for goals with 35, fourth all-time in TCU program history for points. TCU top 5 in the country.
Yeah, and, again, the Big 12 is a powerhouse for women's soccer. You look at it, TCU and the RPI is ranked 3rd. I know they're ranked 5th nationally, but in terms of the RPI, West Virginia is 7, Colorado 10, Baylor 11, Kansas 13, Texas Tech 17. So you look at the top 17, you got 6 teams. You have 13 of them in the top 100. So there should be a lot of tournament teams as the NCAA tournament inches closer. Next week is the Big 12 tournament, and then follows that is the NCAA tournament. We'll have plenty to come next week on the women's soccer Big 12 tournament.
Where do you stand on haunted houses?
I'm pro. I'm pro haunted houses.
There's got to be some awesome haunted houses.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I hate haunted houses.
I was going to say, same.
The thing that I always hated about haunted houses is the pop out, like things that just like pop out at you.
Right.
Which is, it's like,
at our age, sets your nervous system on fire.
Ablaze. Yeah.
Yes.
And I know both my kids would not like it. So no. Yeah. It's and like some of the people in my neighborhood take Halloween way too seriously, and like way scary stuff where it's like,
it's like, chill, bro.
I'm kind of scared. Like, let alone my 6-year-old who's scared of everything. Easy. You're scaring the kids. You're scaring the adults. Things pop out at you. It's like, ah!
I only run from clowns.
Clowns are freaky.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of any clown.
No, don't like.
Remember the clowns that were like showing up in parking lots like before COVID, like 6-7 years ago? They would just walk up to somebody. Somebody would be dressed up as a clown, and then you're putting your groceries in your car, and they would just walk up to you.
Homie the Clown. Remember Homie the Clown from Mad TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like any of them.
Well, and
really creepy.
Again, to my neighborhood, people take it way too far. Somebody put like clown arms in the sewers in our neighborhood. You drive around, you see like it. It's like, what are we doing?
Somebody's down there.
Or like, what person has enough time and or money to be spending to dress up the neighborhood with it all over your sewer. It's too much.
I will say I applaud the effort. In Switzerland, you can actually hire a clown to stalk somebody for up to a week. It's a real thing.
What do you mean? Like
What?
Like it's legal to do that? I don't think it's legal to stalk anybody.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it might be. I don't know. Switzerland. It's a look it up. It's a thing.
For a country that doesn't like to get involved in wars, that seems a bit extreme.
Wars? No. Clowns stalking? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here
Why
for it.
clowns? Can I?
Drake meme.
I don't know.
It's a
Can I
war
hire?
when you have clowns.
Can I hire like a Roger Federer lookalike to stalk somebody?
Has to be a clown. Clowns only. Clownsonly.com. All right, that's going to do it for this week for us here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. Coming up next, you will see a replay and hear a replay from our women's basketball media coverage. You can catch your favorite team, whoever that might be, on our podcast page as of 1 o'clock Central today.
No, the podcasts are always open. On TuneIn Radio Live, you can catch all.
TuneIn Radio Live. That's it. That's the clarification I needed.
The podcasts are always open.
That's
James.
why we make such a great team.
Starting at 1 o'clock
You guys
Central.
are shouting at me rapid fire during the break. It's all very confusing. Somebody said cart number.
Yeah,
I
James.
heard cart number. I checked out.
James, you are
Okay.
a 70-year-old man and a 40-year-old
This
body.
isn't
100%.
KIUL. All right.
He's aging by the minute.
At 1 o'clock today, right here on Big 12 Radio, you can catch all of our Big 12 Media Day coverage. It's always on the podcast page, Spotify, Apple, TuneIn on demand. But up next, live on the program, Women's Basketball Media Days, UCF, followed by West Virginia Men's Basketball. We'll talk with their new head coach, Ross Hodge, and a couple of players. He's Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. Taman Turner, our producer. This is Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. You're watching us on Big 12 Studios.